A new inflation report came out this week, and we saw a pretty good reaction in the stock market to it. Saw another one this morning, up 200 points. Joining us to talk about that is our local financial advisor, Bruce Allen of Bruce G. Allen Investments. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you, too.
So the inflation report, I mean, we're still seeing high inflation,
Yes,
record high.
very high.
But there are indicators that it's starting to come down, and so the market's reacting.
Now, the thing that the Wall Street, and this is just my opinion, reacted to is this is the first month since June of 2020 that prices haven't risen. So for over 2 years, prices have been going up, sometimes at very rapid rates. And finally, we have a month where prices have not increased, and that's the good news.
And that's the good news. So what does that mean for investors right now?
I think there's a couple things. One, what many people have been watching for is inflation going to peak some point in time? And so for those folks who believe that inflation's peaking, now we see that there may be evidence of that. In July, we saw prices were flat over June. From June 30 to July 31st, prices did not go up. And that's the first time we've seen that, as I said earlier, for over 2 years. Year over year, they're still up 8.5%, which is a blistering pace. But the expectation was that prices would rise at 9.1%. But the fact that they've leveled off, at least for a month, is good news for investors. And that's what they're hanging on to, that hope for the moment.
Yep, people that have done things like jump into the bond market or whatever to try and blunt some of this, the market going down, do they have to worry anymore? Should they get back into the stock market?
I think there's two things. I think as far as inflation goes, the inflationary data, at least this month, was good. But we need, the Federal Reserve and other investors are going to need more data to show that this is really a trend and not just a 1 month off.
Okay.
I think the good news we've seen is that the price of oil, the price of wheat, some other agricultural commodities that really jumped during the war with Ukraine have come back down below those levels, and that's what's starting to cool inflation off. And what we saw this last month was the price of oil dropping, and gasoline this morning went below $4 for the first time, and it was at $5 in June. That's really good news for just everybody out there who's driving.
Everybody, yeah.
Food prices, however, have been persistently high, and it's going to take a while, assuming that these prices can stay low, which I don't know. But if they do stay down, we may start seeing some relief at the grocery stores as well. And if we start seeing that, along with gasoline prices stay down, people are going to feel better about the economy.
So I always ask you about your crystal ball. What's your gut say? You think this is the end and the beginning of an uptick for the markets?
I think that many investors have hoped that this news would keep propelling stocks higher. And no one can predict the future accurately. Right. But the bond market is saying a different message. And sadly, when the bond market says things might go into recession and the stock market says, what, me worry, things are good? The bond market's right, usually. And so I have to say that I'm concerned about the fact that the bond market's sending a negative message that we will have a recession sometime in the next 18 months. I hope I'm wrong about that.
Gee, I was just getting ready to like you again.
No, it's not going to happen today.
All right. Bruce, as always, good to see you. Thank you.